fielder. Thank you, Rick. And a special thanks to Max HD Sunglasses, proud partner of the Colorado Rockies. Max HD Sunglasses, it's all about the lens. Rockies are happy to have fans keep any batted or thrown ball or bat that goes into the stands. Remember, however, that thrown or batted balls and bats can be dangerous, so please remain alert at all times. Please remember that anyone throwing home run balls onto the field will be subject to ejection. In consideration of the health designated areas only, smoking is not allowed in any of these seating areas. Please be considerate. Join the Rockies and get in the team spirit. Be responsible about alcohol consumption and help us make Rockies games a good time for everyone. These reminders are to ensure your safety and the family entertainment environment at Coors Field. We thank you for your cooperation. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, let's meet today's umpires. Clear home plate, Bill Miller. Third base, Mike Riley. Second base, Eric Cooper. First base, Chad Fairchild.
Cook's leg. And right now, you don't want to be a right-handed pitcher facing Votto. He is annihilating right-handed pitching. 26 of his 32 home runs have come off right-handed pitching. For the Colorado Rockies, Jason Hamill, you look at what this guy's gotten accomplished this year. He's backwards. He's 7-1 at home in Colorado, where pitchers are not supposed to thrive. So it's a little different. He's winning at home, not doing so well on the road.
Let's take a look at the Cincinnati Reds lineup. Drew Stubbs in the leadoff spot for the second consecutive game. Brandon Phillips been struggling lately, so Dusty Baker juggles the lineup, moves him to the 2 spot. Votto, Rolen, and Johnny Gomes. Gomes off to a good start in the month of September. Homered on Tuesday night here at Coors Field. Ramon Hernandez has swung a hot bat against Hamill in his career. Chris Heise's in right. Paul Janisch is the shortstop. Orlando Cabrera still having a hard time getting healthy. And the rookie Travis Wood is the pitcher. Jason Hamill, 6'6", 28 years of age, the former Tampa Bay Ray, going for the Rockies. If he wins this afternoon, it'll be a career high in wins, his 11th on the year. Mitch touched on it. He's been good lately. He's won his last 2 starts. His last 2 decisions have been wins for Hamill, and they need this guy as the Rockies take the field here in Matinee Baseball on MLB Network. To be, at the moment, Aaron Cook could be lost for the year. They may need this guy to be a number 2 next to Ubaldo Jimenez, because Jorge De La Rosa has fought injuries this season as well.
Well, when you look at this rotation, there's no question Jason Hamill has got to step up and step up big for this club. If they plan on catching either the wild card race or the San Diego Padres in the West, Their starting pitching is going to have to be there for them. And Jason Hamill, as I said a little earlier, 7-1 at home is a tremendous number in Colorado. He's a sinker slider guy, and he is going to have to navigate his way around the middle three of this Reds lineup, because in the middle three between Votto, Roland, and Johnny Gomes, they've got 256 RBIs out of those middle three. So he's got to make sure he does not let the middle three hurt him bad today.
Good look at Jim Tracy there. The Rockies again have won 6 straight games. They're 4.5 behind the San Diego Padres in the NL West. They're 4.5 behind the Atlanta Braves in the wild card. So they're sitting in even territory in both races. They're the reason why they've made this comeback. And you hate to point just one player, but he really has been carrying a major load, Carlos Gonzalez.
There's no question. This guy, he's dangerous every time he walks up there. He hits extremely well at home. He has power. He has speed. You hear the term five-tool player. He's the definition of a five-tool player. He can run, hit for power. He's got a great arm. So they're leaning heavily on this guy. And with Tulowitzki hitting behind him, he's going to get pitches to hit.
Leading things off for the Cincinnati Reds, Drew Stubbs, the center fielder, hitting .243 after going 2 for 3 with a run scored last night. 15 home runs.
He's been a guy that I think has been a surprise. He's had an up and down year, but the one thing that remains constant with him, he has speed. And 24 stolen bases this year. Dusty putting him at the top of the lineup. They want him on base for when Votto gets to the plate.
Swings through a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Just underway here from Coors Field, Greg Amsinger and Mitch Williams alongside. Reds, Rockies, matinee baseball. 2 live games coming your way here on MLB Network. Cardinals, Braves later tonight. Just misses the corner from Jason Hamill.
And that's a tremendous pitch. I like the way Hamill has come out and tried to establish his fastball. I'm a big believer in you stick with your fastball until the opposing lineup forces you to go to your secondary pitches. And I thought that count was wrong up there. I thought the umpire called the first pitch a strike. Yeah. And you see him go up in the zone. The key to this, when you go up, it's got to be up middle. Hitters can read in and out. They cannot read middle when the ball's up like that. They got to turn it loose to catch up. And you don't see it a lot anymore, but that's how you put a guy away when you're ahead in the count.
So Brandon Phillips digs in, the second baseman for the Cincinnati Reds. His power numbers almost similar to Drew Stubbs. Brandon Phillips, a good majority of the season, was hitting cleanup for the Cincinnati Reds. They put him in the leadoff spot. And now Dusty's trying something new for the second consecutive game. Phillips in the 2-hole.
Well, I think putting him in the leadoff spot at the beginning of the year, I think Brandon felt he had to hit home runs out of that spot. And when you put a hitter in an RBI spot in the lineup, a lot of times they think you can only drive in runs with home runs, not realizing that balls in the gap drive in just as many as balls over the fence.
And the emergence of Johnny Gomes as an RBI guy.
Absolutely.
Kind of helped Dusty get some balance in the lineup, was able to move Phillips.
And that's something right there as you watch that 0-2 pitch. This is something I think that the pitch count has taken away from pitchers, using an 0-2 pitch to set up the next pitch, because they worry about wasting pitches now because they simply won't get to stay out there long enough if they use up too many pitches. And both of those are 2 0-2 pitches that are in the strike zone. I don't like to see that. I would rather that when I got 0-2, for me it was an opportunity. I had 4 chances to get them to swing at a ball.
Hamill does seem like he's pounding the strike zone early. Struck out Drew Stubbs. Now has Brandon Phillips in the hole, 0-2. This one base knocked to left.
And that's.
So Phillips on with 1 away here in the top of the first for the Reds. Take a look at the defensive alignment for the Colorado Rockies. Melvin Moore at third. Ian Stewart still banged up. Troy Tulowitzki, a red-hot player at the moment. EY Jr. at second. Get to see Jason Giambi flash the leather over at first. Iannetta the catcher, Gonzalez, Fowler, and Spielborgs your outfield.
And you look at that defense. You got Fowler in center field who can flat out go get them with anybody in baseball. And that's what Jason Hamill has to do. Keep the ball in the field of play, and these guys got a chance to catch it.
In steps Joey Votto, swings at the first pitch, fouls it off. What a year. We talk about the Triple Crown race. It's all fine and good. But Joey Votto, still, many believe, the front runner for NL MVP.
And it'd be hard to argue. I mean, Cargo is going to be in that conversation. There's no question about that, especially if Colorado can come back and win this division. It's going to be hard not to give that award to Gonzalez.
No doubt about it. Joey Votto, here at Coors Field, loves it. Hitting .441 in his career in Colorado.
And this, for me, is where Jason Hamill has got to be smart. He's got Scott Rowland, a right-handed hitter on deck. Very good pitch right there to Votto. Votto is an inside-out hitter. So the way you defense an inside-out hitter, stay away from his strength, which is the ball on the inner third of the plate. He got one by him there. Now he's got to be extremely smart. Stay away from him. Pitch your strength away from his strength. Go away.
Giving a look to Brandon Phillips, who's at first base after a one-out single. Has Votto 0-2. That's fouled off.
That's a good 0-2 pitch.
It hit the home plate umpire, Bill Miller. Take another look.
Yeah, he's got gear on. Oh, it hit him right in the belly.
Yeah, that still can't feel good.
Nah. A lot of us, especially guys my age, they wouldn't even feel that because we've got plenty of cushion around the belly.
Iannetta, the catcher, giving a smile there.
Look, I might have knocked the wind out of him a little bit. You see him huffing and puffing back there?
Yeah.
He's going the Grand Slam breakfast this morning. Is not feeling good right now.
You can see the actual spot where the baseball hit him.
There it is.
He's laboring. Bill Miller behind the plate. Chad Fairchild's the first base umpire. Eric Cooper at second, and Mike Riley's the third base umpire for this game.
You see Iannetta setting up outside, thinking Phillips is going to run. And if I'm Colorado in this situation, I want Brandon Phillips running. He's stolen 14 bases, been thrown out 11 times. So he's not a prolific base stealer by any means. So I would want him running.
The 1-2 pitch coming from Jason Hamill to Joey Votto. Scott Rowland on deck. There goes Phillips. It's a ball inside, and he's in there.
And this, for me, I don't know how smart a play this is. Because now you've taken the hole away from Votto between first and second. And you give.
They got him.
Yeah, it looked like the umpire might have missed that call.
Take a look.
He's out at second base. But we get the opportunity to replay where the umpires don't. If I'm Jason Hamill right now, there is no way Votto sees anything middle in. He's either going to swing at a ball off the plate away, or I'm walking him. I'm going to take my chances with Scott Rowland. There's no way I give him the opportunity to drive this run in.
They got ahead of him 0-2. Now they count 2-2. Phillips at second base now.
And they're going back in there. And tied him up. Did a very good job. If you're going to go in, it better be in. And the danger with going in to a hitter like Votto is if you miss even a little bit, it can be a 2-point play in a hurry.
This looked uncomfortable for Joey Votto.
Yeah, that's the definition of tying a hitter up inside. That's a great pitch on Hamill's part.
Did it look like he was getting set to lunge over the plate? Maybe look for something in the outside part?
Well, an inside-out hitter wants to go to the ball because they want to take every pitch and make it an inside pitch. So their first instinct, much like Derek Jeter for the Yankees, is to go towards the outside part of the plate to make the ball appear inside to him. So for me, if I'm Jason Hamill right here, I'm going to try and the next two pitches, backdoor breaking ball, see if you can get a punch out without a swing.
The 2-2. In the dirt, Iannetta can't find it, and Phillips takes third base. So a wild pitch puts the first possible run of this game 90 feet away.
You watch how Iannetta tries to block. You see how he backhands that ball? as a catcher, you know he's throwing a breaking ball. Your instinct has got to, you have to expect the ball to be in the dirt. You can't backhand this ball. You've got to slide your body over, get in front, and he handcuffed him again.
Wow. Can't even call that a swinging butt. Here comes Brandon Phillips, who's going to score on the play.
Hamill never even checked him at third base.
Jim Tracy's reaction says it all.
Wow.
Reds on the board, a swinging bunt basically from Joey Votto.
And that gives him 100 RBIs on a ball that traveled 8 feet.
Another look.
Wow. That's not even a swing.
Well, you can't call it a check swing. It's kind of a hybrid in between.
If Jason Hamill comes up and looks, he can throw to third and have Phillips right now. He never even looked at him. And me being the selfish kind of guy I'm more worried about the run scoring.
Rolling at the plate now, and he swings through the first pitch. Joey Votto with RBI number 100. And again, Jason Hamill didn't even check Brandon Phillips.
That to me is absolutely odd in that situation, how you don't even glance over at the runner at third. He had Phillips hung up.
At no point did he look his way.
No.
So Phillips with a 1-out single steals second, even though the replay showed he was out. Wild pitch gets him to third, and on a little tapper in front of home plate, able to score. Reds up 1-0.
And you got to give Brandon Phillips credit because he read that play from the very beginning, and that looked like strike 3 to me. But Scott Rowland, being a veteran, may have gotten a benefit of being a veteran in that situation.
Rowland's second half has been completely different than the first. An all-star. He's cooled off. Seeing 19 home runs, still a productive year.
He's been a settling influence for this club defensively. He's one of the best third basemen that's ever played the game.
And it looks like he goes swing, so that's the third out here in the first. But Hamill had an opportunity to get that guy right there. Phillips scores, Votto an RBI, and the Reds up 1-0. Back a look at the Colorado Rockies lineup. E.Y. Jr., Eric Young, 8 hits in his last 5 games will lead things off. Then Dexter Fowler, Carlos Gonzalez playing left, hitting third. Troy Tulowitzki, Jason Giambi, Melvin Moore at third. Ryan Spilborgh's the starter at right field. Chris Iannetta, the catcher. Hamill is on the mound, hitting ninth, facing the young Travis Wood.
And the thing I look at this lineup and I look at young Travis Wood is you look at his numbers. He's 5-2. A very good ERA. The thing that impresses me most about Travis Wood is his face when he's on the mound. He does not come across as a kid that's the least bit awed by the big leagues. He pitches confident. They can see that on his face, and he goes right at hitters.
This is the rookie's 13th career start. He's 5-2 with a 3.19. Looks like he got a haircut, Mitch.
He got his hair cut, and I don't know what the grooming's all about. I never really worried about cutting my hair. As a lot of people know, I had the bad mullet.
Young swings through that in the hole 1 and 2.
And for EY Jr., Greg, you and I talked about a little bit off air. You see there, he's got some guns. He's a strong kid.
And that line drive too much to handle for Brandon Phillips. Leadoff single for Eric Young Jr., who loves to run.
And there's no question about this kid can fly. And that's what he's got to understand. You go back to the movie Major League and Willie Mays Hayes, and you hit the ball in the air, drop down, give me 20 push-ups. Because he's so strong, he has a tendency to want to hit home runs. When balls like that, he goes up there looking to put the ball in play. Every time he puts it in play, it's a chance to be a base hit because he's so fast.
In just 30 now, 6 games this year for Eric Young Jr. He's got 15 stolen bases. This is a ground ball to third. Rolling to second, on to first, and the speedy Dexter Fowler hits into a 5-4-3 double play.
And in that situation, Fowler being a guy that can run also, you'd think that he would give EY the opportunity to take a pitch or two and give EY Jr. a chance to run, get into scoring position. And that's the whole key about being a two-hole hitter. You have to know the game. Give Eric Young Jr. a chance to run. You're taking an RBI away from yourself by not allowing him the chance to run.
And it didn't look like Dexter Fowler was burning it down the first base line either. It's a double play, eliminates Young on the base path. That's what I was trying to say. 15 stolen bases out of 18 attempts. So he's hard to throw out. No longer do the Reds have to worry about that. Now Travis Wood gets to face Carlos Gonzalez. Good luck. This one's fouled off the other way. Let's take a look at the defense behind the rookie left-hander. Johnny Gomes in left, Stubbs in center, Heisey's the right fielder. Scott Rowland, we saw him over at third, already turn a double play. Paul Janich is at short, Brandon Phillips and Joey Votto on the right side of the infield, and Hernandez is the catcher. Ground ball to Votto. Underhand flip, and a very efficient bottom of the first for Travis Wood. Good start for him. Reds up a run through 1. Bottom of the first, we noticed this conversation, Mitch.
And that, to me, right there is probably Eric Young Jr. saying, Dexter, take a pitch or two, give me the opportunity to run. Let me get in scoring position for you.
Instead, Fowler swung at the first pitch, hit into a 5-4-3 double play. Then Carlos Gonzalez grounded out to first. So here we are, top of the second. Hamill back to work. 1-0 Cincinnati.
And to touch on that a little bit, you have to be a hitter. If you're going to be a two-hole hitter, you have to be a hitter that's not afraid to hit with 1 strike or 2 strikes on you.
Johnny Gomes at the plate, base hit up the middle.
The thing I love about Johnny Gomes is he has a blast playing the game. There's no one that's more excitable than him. And he's done a tremendous job for the Reds this year, too. And that's a ball that's on the outer third of the plate, and he did a pretty good job of staying on it. Didn't roll over on it, just drove it back up the middle.
Johnny Gomes playing his 128th game, 16 home runs, 77 RBIs. Getting a chance to play every day. He's not going to win you a Gold Glove in left field.
No.
But what they need is a run producer in the middle of that lineup.
And Johnny Gomes is one of those guys that Dusty, I'm sure, has gone to him and he said, look, drive in more than you let in. And that's what it's going to come down to. And if you'd asked Dusty Baker, do you think Johnny Gomes is going to drive in 75 or 80 runs this year at the beginning of the year? I bet he'd have said no.
Ramon Hernandez is going to get an RBI here. Carlos Gonzalez has a hard time getting a handle on it, and he almost threw him out.
That right there, very close play. Cargo did obviously have trouble getting a hold of that ball, made a good throw. But now Cincinnati's got a 2-run lead, which in Colorado means nothing. It could be 7-0, and you're still in the game here.
Ramon Hernandez hammers this one into the corner. Gonzalez had a hard time getting a handle of it. Look at that throw. Gomes doesn't run well, and he doesn't slide, which made this much closer than it should have been.
I'm not sure he's safe. I can't see the plate. Now this will be a perfect view of it. He's out. He stepped on his foot. He never stepped on the plate. So that's 2 plays now that the Reds have benefited from calls from the umpire.
And now they have a 2-0 lead. Hernandez at second. That's his 20th RBI in the last 25 games. Mitch, I think you're onto something here. Iannetta does a great job of blocking the plate with his left foot.
Look at where Gomes' foot. He steps on it, and the tags apply. He's out. He never stepped on the plate. He stepped on Iannetta's foot. And I'll tell you what, to go back to Ramon Hernandez, you're talking about a guy that's had 269 ABs coming into today's action and driven in 43 runs. So he's been extremely productive when he's been in the lineup.
Between Hernandez and Ryan Hannigan, who's got 36 RBIs to his name, that catcher's spot has done nothing but good things for Dusty Baker. Isaac falls behind in this count, 1-2.
And you can see Hamill has come out. He's got a very lively fastball today. If he can locate it, he can slow this Reds lineup down. But he cannot, in counts like this, 1-2, 0-2, he has to quit being so impatient. Use a pitch to set up a pitch. Very good job right there.
He picks up his 3rd strikeout of the game. Heisey the first out here in the top of the second.
People have to understand, when you watch a game of baseball, you get ahead with strikes, you get outs with balls. And that right there is a perfect example of it. That's a 59-foot breaking ball. Hitters will swing when they're in the hole.
So Paul Janisch, the shortstop, hitting 8th for the Reds at the plate now. Takes a strike. Reason this young man's playing so much, Orlando Cabrera. He didn't start last night or today. That oblique injury still sore. And since coming off the DL, Cabrera's been hitting .417. So they want Cabrera in the lineup, but he's having a hard time getting healthy. That's foul up.
Well, he's a vet. That fastball right there flat out chased Janisch. He couldn't do anything with it, couldn't get out of the way of it. Ends up hitting the bat. But to get back to Cabrera, they obviously want him in the lineup. He's a veteran. He's a stabilizer in the infield defensively. And he knows how to play at this time of year. This is when it comes down to experience. And you've seen him all over the place. He's been in the postseason with a number of teams.
Another wild pitch is going to get Ramon Hernandez to 3rd. Crucial wild pitches In the first inning, Brandon Phillips at second with 1 out. Wild pitch, he gets to third with 1 out.
And
now the same story here in the second.
I'll say this. The toughest pitch to block and keep in front of you is a slider. You watch the reaction of the ball does not hit and come straight. It hits and goes the opposite direction. So from a right-hander, a slider is going to hit and jump right. Iannetta did a pretty good job of getting in front of that ball.
Giannis off the end of the bat will drive in the third run of the game.
And if you're Dusty Baker, you're sitting over there going, great, we got a 3-0 lead. But trust me, in this ballpark, a 3-0 lead is like a 1-0 lead. It can go away in a hurry.
Another look at Paul Giannis reaching out and barely touching this thing. Blooper in the center.
But tomorrow in the paper, it's going to look like a bullet. It doesn't say a doink to center in the paper the next day. It says RBI.
A check on Giannis, who hitting .263 as the starting shortstop for the Reds with Cabrera on the DL. It was a span of 27 games.
And this is a guy, you see that second stat right there? Travis Wood, 5-2 as a rookie, having a tremendous year pitching, and when it gets to the offseason, all he's going to talk about is that home run.
He's trying to bunt here, and he pops it foul. Yeah, Travis Wood, looks like he's got a game plan up there.
For me, I know my first big league hit was a home run. It was my first year in the National League. I had a good year with the Chicago Cubs, but the only thing I wanted to talk about was my homer.
Well, as you see, he's got the little elbow brace in that left elbow, protect the goods. Again, a left-handed starting pitcher. But it was his last start where he really was able to stick his chest out. Against the St. Louis Cardinals, Travis Wood took Adam Wainwright yard.
Yeah. And that's a good swing. You look at this, head stayed still. See, not all pitchers are non-athletes. That's what people have to understand. We didn't all grow up just on that dirt spot in the middle of the diamond. A lot of us played.
Another check on Giannis. You know, he also pitched in that game well. He allowed 1 unearned run in 7 innings in a very big and important win in St. Louis. It was the only game the Reds won on this current road trip. They got it from Travis Wood.
And you know, that I spoke a little about this earlier. The thing that is so impressive to me is his demeanor on the mound.
This is going to be close. They get it. Chris Iannetta had to run a long way to grab that foul, that bunt, and make the play to first. Now 2 away.
And he does a really good job there. A lot of times bunting is overlooked. For me, I never understood how it's so hard to bunt. You see guys, you see big league players, big league position players that cannot bunt, when literally all you're doing is catching the baseball with the bat. And if you can get it down, now he's got an opportunity for the leadoff guy, Stubbs, to drive in another run for him.
Strike 1 on the corner from Jason Hamill. First time up for Drew Stubbs. He struck out swinging.
And for Jason Hamill at this point in the game, he's got to understand where they're playing and understand that 3 runs is nothing. He needs to settle down, take it pitch by pitch, and keep his team in this game.
Drew Stubbs sends this one to left field. Back at the track is Cargo. Leaps. And it's gone. A 2-run home run from Drew Stubbs. Everyone paused to see if Carlos Gonzalez made an insane catch. He couldn't grab it. And Drew Stubbs hits another home run. And the Reds are in control 5-0.
And that's a case of he threw back-to-back sliders. He threw him a 0-0 slider for strike 1. And you see just how that could be almost considered fan interference right there. And it would that could honestly, if they went to a replay, they could actually call that fan interference.
You think?
Yes, most definitely they could call that fan interference.
Wow. At the moment, and now since the first pitch has been thrown, that is clearly a 2-run home run.
Yeah, they didn't get the red flag out.
So Stubbs strikes out and then hits a 2-run home run. Brandon Phillips singled his first time up, grounds to Jason Giambi. And a rough second frame for Jason Hamill comes to an end. The Reds score 4 in the second. And behind Travis Wood and Drew Stubbs, who does this, Cincinnati has a 5-0 lead. Tonight, as the pennant chase hits the home stretch, Albert Pujols and the Cardinals are in Hotlanta for a critical matchup against Jason Hayward and the Braves. Thursday Night Baseball, driven by Chevrolet, begins tonight at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on MLB Network. Greg Amsinger and Mitch Williams with you. Coors Field, the setting. Rockies down 5-0 in the bottom of the second. Travis Wood, the rookie left-hander for the Reds on the hill, and Troy Tulowitzki, a red-hot shortstop for the Rocks, at the plate. His last 7 games, hitting .400 with 5 home runs and 13 RBIs.
And this is definitely a guy that he's on fire. Travis Wood has a 5-0 lead right now. And as I talked about earlier, not being intimidated by the big leagues, he's going to go at him. And
this one's popped up. Joey Votto uses his glove to keep the sun out of his eyes.
And this is a great thing about Travis Wood. He just simply pounds the strike zone. He has a game plan. And I think the thing I like most about him, he does not give the hitters too much credit. He understands that hitting a round ball with a round bat is probably the toughest thing in sports. And he just goes out there and tries to locate his pitches. He's not overpowering. He doesn't have anything about his repertoire is dominating.
Jason Giambi goes up hacking. Jason hitting .258. Only 2 extra base hits in his last 46 at-bats. But his presence is always felt in that lineup when he does start for the Rockies.
Well, the thing about Jason Giambi is everybody knows his entire career he's a power hitter that has an extreme command of the strike zone. He knows the strike zone. He does not go outside the strike zone very often. He's not a guy that's just going to go up there gashing. You're going to have to throw strikes to him. That's what's made him dangerous over the course of his career.
How many check swings have we seen in this game already? From the Reds, guys that can't get around on balls.
And you look at this, well, number one, it's not real easy, depending on the batter's eye, to pick the baseball up in day games. Some guys excel at it, some guys don't.
The 0-2 from Wood.
That
just misses the corner.
That right there is a great pitch. And this is what I mean, for a young kid to have the game plan and the confidence. A hitter looks out to the mound. He doesn't see a rookie. He sees a pitcher that is in command of what he's doing.
This one's fouled off. Listen to this stat from young Travis Wood. He's now thrown 74 innings of work, and he's given up 59 hits. He has 56 strikeouts.
And you're talking about a kid that, if he humps up, he might be able to touch 92. That's a great pitch.
Took a little off. Jason Giambi down looking for the second out here in the second.
And as I say, you watch Wood's demeanor. He's just out there making pitches. He's chewing gum. He looks completely relaxed. You can't tell if he's up 5-0, down 5-0. And that's a huge attribute for a young pitcher to have.
Now he faces Melvin Mora. Mora hitting 6th, playing 3rd this afternoon for the Rockies. You see his numbers on the year. He's started the last 9 games entering today's action. Why is that? Ian Stewart on the DL with a strained rib cage. Mora hits this one hard into the corner, but it's just foul.
And you know, if you're Travis Wood and you look at this lineup that the Rockies are running up there, you look at the biceps on some of these guys. You got Mora, Giambi. These guys are going up there with their guns flashing, and Wood standing out there, just not a big in stature guy, saying, here it is, hit it.
And Melvin Mora does. Goes the other way. Second hit for the Rockies. He'll bring up Ryan Spilborghs.
Mora getting the opportunity to play more consistently now with Ian Stewart being hurt. Mora is used to being an everyday player coming from Baltimore, and he appears to be getting into a groove offensively. In order for Colorado to get back in this game, this is what they got to do. They got 2 outs. They got a base hit. If they could throw up 1 run here, just get back in, show their pitcher, Jason Hamill, that they can come back, it'll be a good ball game.
With the bottom third of the lineup. That's a good point. More at first. Spilborgh's at the plate. You saw his 10 home runs. All of his home runs have come in games he started. That's just 64 games. Base hit here. So the Rockies a little 2-out rally from the bottom to second. Chris Iannetta, the catcher, up next.
See, they have a situation in Colorado that, as a manager, you have to love. You have Seth Smith, who can hit from the left-handed side.
Hit a home run last night.
And Ryan Spilborghs, who can hit from the right-handed side, and they both have pop. They got 27 home runs between them. So you know you got guys that you can platoon out there that can produce. And this guy is strong as an ox. His only problem is making contact, but when he makes contact, it goes far.
Chris Iannetta, this is his 50th game of 2010. Swings through the first offering from Travis Wood. Now, are you delicate in terms of how you approach Iannetta? You have 5-run lead. I know it's early, but you got the pitcher spot up next.
Absolutely. I mean, Travis Wood's got to be smart in this situation. You know you got a pitcher on deck. And call a tow truck because he just fouled that off his toe.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sensing he's not happy about it.
No. Chris Iannetta in pain after this.
And as a pitcher, this next pitch, I would be willing to bet. I've got 5 kids, 2 of them that he's going to come right back in there because he's going to be hesitant. The hitter is going to be hesitant to swing at a pitch back in there because he doesn't want to foul it off his foot again.
That didn't hit him in the foot. That hit him right above the left knee.
Well, let's see where this pitch is. If Hernandez is smart, he's coming right back in there. Up. Well, that's a little too up and out.
Well, you always say it's good to miss up, way up. If you're going to miss.
If you're going to go up and try and punch a guy out, you see there that the hitter can recognize a way. If that ball's in the middle of play, he's going to have a hard time taking it.
The 1-2 barely misses for Travis Wood.
And this is where Travis Wood has got to be smart. He's got a 2-2 count, and you have to be watching the on-deck circle and know the opposing pitcher's coming up next.
The Reds trying to end a 4-game losing streak. They're 6 games up with the St. Louis Cardinals in the NL Central standings. The 2-2 pitch, grounded foul.
And I'll give Iannetta credit in this situation. He shortened his swing up. He's fighting pitches off. And I think I would love to see more of that. Granted, Iannetta is a power hitter. But once you're in the hole as a hitter, you have to learn to fight pitches off. And a base hit scores your run here.
Wood misses up and away. Count runs full to Chris Iannetta.
If I'm Wood, there's no way in the world I'm throwing a strike here. He's either going to swing at a ball or he's walking.
The pitcher on deck. The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, and Travis Wood able to get another K, his second of the ball game. And the Rockies put 2 hits together but leave him stranded. 5-0 Reds through 2. Reminder this Saturday night, it's a potential postseason matchup with 2 division-leading powerhouses as Jeter and the Yanks battle Vladdy and the Rangers, or watch the Diamondbacks take on the Rockies. Live at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on MLB Network's Saturday Night Baseball, presented by Chrysler. Back to the live action here at Coors Field. Jason Hamill back for his 3rd inning of work. Reds scored 1 in the first, 4 in the second. And Joey Votto leads things off in the top of the 3rd.
And in this case, Jason Hamill's simply looking for a clean inning. Get him in the dugout, 1, 2, 3. Give your offense a chance to get something rolling. Understand that you're very early in the ball game, and you play in a stadium that can surrender 25 runs in a heartbeat.
He's done a good job jamming Joey Votto this afternoon. This is a broken bat, shattered bat here.
He is definitely able to get his fastball inside and tie up Joey Votto, and there's not a whole lot of people who can do that.
Scott Rowland takes a ball.
That's his 2-seam fastball. You saw the very good sink on that ball.
Ground ball to Eric Young. 2 up, 2 down.
This is exactly what Jason Hamill needs to do. Now that he's got 2 outs, this is where you do not take your foot off the gas pedal if you're a pitcher. You don't take a breath and relax and go, okay, it's over with. It's not over with. Continue to keep your foot on the gas and go after these hitters.
Another broken bat.
They're going through some timber over there with Cincinnati right now.
Well, Jason Hamill may have given up 5 runs already in this game, but he's making the lumber for the Reds pay.
Well, if he can run them out of bats, he's got an opportunity to win his game.
Johnny Gomes singled his first time up.
And you know, you look at Johnny Gomes' approach, he's almost a mirror image approach-wise as Joey Votto. You look at their stance, everything about it, and that's not a bad guy to try and emulate, because Votto, he's a Triple Crown guy.
Oh, yeah.
And Gomes obviously has found something that has clicked this year, because he's done a very good job for Dusty Baker.
In the hole here, 1-2 to Jason Hamill. This is a fun pennant chase Thursday on MLB Network, showing the Reds trying to end a 4-game losing streak with a 5-0 lead here against the Rockies. Later tonight, the Cardinals and Braves do battle, and the Cardinals find themselves 6 games back, unable to really pick up any ground, while the Reds have been in this losing streak.
That is the problem, and I think it tells you everything you need to know about the state of mind of the St. Louis Cardinals right now. The team you're chasing loses 4 in a row, and you gain no ground. Your job and your road has gotten extremely tough and long, because they're just, things aren't right in St. Louis right now.
No.
And if you're Cincinnati, you got to be thinking, wow, we're on a 4-game losing streak and we have lost no ground.
Count runs full to Johnny Gomes. 2 outs here in the top of the third. You're enjoying matinee baseball here on MLB Network. Greg Amsinger, Mitch Williams alongside.
And this is what I mean about Jason Hamill not taking his foot off the gas. He's in a 3-2 count now.
Hit hard. What a stop from Troy Tulowitzki.
Shocking.
Tulo making the play at short. And Jason Hamill sawing everyone else off in the meantime. Reds still up 5. Chase coverage presented by Jeep. We'll talk about that a little later on. Friday at 10 Eastern. We'll give you all the particulars as we go forward here in Coors Field. In steps Jason Hamill, facing Travis Wood. 5-0 lead for the Cincinnati Reds.
And in this situation, him getting Iannetta out to end the bottom of the 2nd inning allows him to have the pitcher leading off. It's not a very good swing.
No. A lot of movement there from Wood's pitch. Another look.
And that's a cutter that just kept chasing him.
Good look at the young left-hander Travis Wood. Ball's hit hard. Giannis is there, and he makes the flip to first. So this is what I was talking about. MLB Network continues our pennant chase coverage presented by Jeep. Friday at 10 Eastern. His August sweep prediction went up in smoke. Now the battle for the NL West is even tighter as Jonathan Sanchez and the Giants head to Petco Park for a rematch with Clayton Richard and the Padres. Giants-Padres, 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific, or Diamondbacks-Rockies at 9 Friday on MLB Network. What a series that will be. Giants and Padres. This NL West is getting better and better by the day.
Well, when you look at Colorado being 4.5 games out of both the wild card and the National League West, this is what September baseball is supposed to be about. Teams battling over the opportunity to go to the postseason.
So Eric Young Jr., who singled his first time up, at the plate now with one away in the bottom of the third. It's in there for a strike.
But that's a good job by Eric Young Jr. Make him throw strikes. As a leadoff hitter in the 2-0 count, your job is to get on base. Put the pressure on the pitcher.
He gets under this one. Brandon Phillips backpedals in the shallow center for the second out. In steps Dexter Fowler. He swung at the first pitch he saw in the first inning and grounded into a 5-4-3 double play,
which led to a conversation between him and Eric Young on the bench in between innings, which I'm sure, as a number 2 hitter, you have to be a pretty savvy baseball player. And you also have to have the confidence in your ability to hit with strikes with either an 0-1 count or an 0-2 count.
But not only that, you got Carlos Gonzalez sitting behind you. You want that guy hitting with runners in scoring position. Or Troy Tulowitzki, I tell you. The middle of this lineup for the Rockies, as good as it gets lately. Can Carlos Gonzalez win the Triple Crown? It's a conversation I know we all enjoy having on MLB Tonight. As Dexter Fowler swings through that one upstairs.
Well, I can say this. The thing that's going to hurt Albert Pujols, if I'm a pitcher at this point in the season, there is zero chance I'm going to give Albert Pujols the opportunity to hit a home run off me. So therefore, I think Gonzalez has a chance to catch him in the home run race. As you see Fowler continue to battle.
Albert went yard last night against the Brewers. His 36th of the season. Came the first inning.
Off Capuano, who he owns, and why Capuano would even pitch to him is beyond me.
So Wood runs the count full here. 2 outs. Again, you can see him on the left side of your screen. Carlos Gonzalez is on deck.
Good job of staying alive by Dexter Fowler there. You got to be able to spoil pitches. If he can find a way on base right now, then young Travis Wood has to face Gonzalez out of the stretch.
The 3-2 on the corner. Travis Wood's third strikeout has him dealing through 3. Reds up 5. You're watching Matinee Baseball on MLB Network from Coors Field. Greg Amsinger and Mitch Williams alongside. Leading things off in this inning, Ramon Hernandez. RBI double his first time up. Ramon comfy against Hamill. Listen to this, Mitch. 8 for 15 with 5 doubles against Hamill. That's the most hits Hamill's allowed to any player he's ever faced.
And there's certain guys that hitters are extremely comfortable against. There's no explaining it. I know my guy that I couldn't get out was a left-handed hitter, Billy Joe Robideau, and if he didn't hit me, he wouldn't have played at all in the big leagues because he wore me out and couldn't hit anybody else.
This one's fouled away. I love your Billy Joe Robideau stories.
This is where Hamill has to look at the count, look at the guy he's facing, and get him to chase. Stay out of the strike zone.
Ahead in the count 1-2 here in the top of the fourth. In the dirt. We were talking about the productivity from the catcher spot for the Cincinnati Reds. Between Ramon Hernandez, Hannigan, and Miller, the other two catchers get a chance to play. A total of 82 RBIs.
Yeah.
That's second best in Major League Baseball from the catcher spot.
And Hernandez has got 44 RBIs now and 270 at-bats.
Sense in the center. And there's Dexter Fowler.
And Hamill right there has got wow, he got him out finally.
So here's Chris Heisey. He struck out swinging his first time up in the second. The Reds really like this kid. They think he's going to be an everyday player for them down the road. Takes this one the other way. Spilborghs has a beat on it. 2 up, 2 down here in the fourth.
Hamill seems to have settled down. Understands that it's a ballpark that will surrender runs quick. And Heisey kind of jammed himself on that pitch.
Paul Yanis drove in a run with a base knock in the second.
A bullet.
Barely touched it. It went off the end of the
spin lob
up
the middle.
Blooper that fell in front of Dexter Fowler. Hits this one well into the gap, and it's going to get to the wall. Yanis will have 2. Will he go 3? No. With 2 outs, he'll stop the second. Paul Yanis having a good ball game. Here's another look. It'll bring the pitcher up, Travis Wood, who had a successful sacrifice in the second inning.
And he's not a mail it in out. Travis Wood takes his hitting seriously.
Bunting for a hit there.
Not sure that's the best idea.
Strike 1 on the board. Wood trying to help himself out. Already up 5-0. Again, the Reds have lost 9 straight games at Coors Field. And Jason Hamill 1 strike away from going back to the dugout.
And this is absolutely a situation. Just don't make a mistake with a fastball. You got the pitcher at the plate, 0-2.
He doesn't.
Very good job right there.
Iannetta throws to first. And after a rough second inning, Jason Hamill has settled down. We'll go to the bottom of the fourth. Rockies down by 5. Two headliners of this baseball game, Joey Votto and Carlos Gonzalez. Cargo due to lead off things in the bottom of the fourth here for Coors Field. Carlos Gonzalez leads in batting average, now tied with Joey Votto with 100 RBIs. The top spot in the National League, Votto with an RBI. And, you know, Chipper Jones had some interesting comments about Carlos Gonzalez. You see Travis Wood here. You know, he said he's a tremendous player, but the numbers are crazy different from Carlos Gonzalez at Coors Field compared to everyone else. He says, wait, he's hitting .390 at home with 25 homers and 65 ribbies. That from Chipper Jones of the Braves. The real numbers in 61 games for Carlos Gonzalez at Coors Field. .394, 25 home runs, 66 RBIs. On the road, Mitch, in 64 games, .288, 7 home runs, 34 RBIs. So does Chipper make a point?
Yeah, he has a point, but it doesn't matter. This is where Carlos Gonzalez plays. He plays for the Colorado Rockies. So, I mean, I understand Chipper's point that he's trying to say that it's only the field. Well, the last time I checked, you still have to make contact. And he's making good enough contact to be hitting .394 at home at Coors Field.
This one is sent to straightaway center. There's Drew Stubbs. And Gonzalez flies out. And you know what? Maybe Chipper's just a little bitter still because, I don't know if you remember 2007, he hit .337, lost the batting title to then Rocky Matt Holliday, who hit .340 now that season. Holliday hit .376 at Coors Field and .301 on the road.
Yeah, and again, what are they supposed to be penalized? Because what, should they take 10 points off because they hit in Colorado? It's where they play their games.
Carlos Gonzalez can't help that.
No.
But he sure enjoys playing there.
Maybe Chipper should, when he got the opportunity to hit in Colorado, should have hit 700. I mean, they play games there. Don't make any outs when you play there. Could have been the difference in a batting title.
Troy Tulowitzki now qualifies for the batting title.
And he's done the damage he's done this year. He's been hurt. He's battled injury. And 17 home runs. And you look at him, and he's only got 380-something at bats, I believe.
Mm-hmm. He's hitting .321.
Yeah, he's played in 100 games. He's got 382 at bats coming into today's game. And a normal season, a guy like Tulo would probably get somewhere between 550 and 600 ABs. So you're looking at the damage he's done on a most definitely injury-shortened season.
The 1-2 pitch just misses from Wood.
That's you're watching a young kid right now that he takes no time in between pitches. He knows what he wants to do, and he just goes out there and tries to execute it.
Full count now. Jason Giambi, who struck out looking his first time up, is on deck. The Rockies have won 6 straight games, surging when it seems like everyone expected them to in September. Here they come. This one's fouled off. The importance of this game, well, the Rockies 4.5 back in the NL West, 4.5 back in the wild card.
In order for them to run down the Padres or the Braves, their starting pitching beyond Jimenez, you're going to have De La Rosa throw the ball like he's been throwing it. He's been throwing it well of late, and you know he can get hot. Last year he started 0-6 and then promptly went out there and went 16-3 in his next 19 decisions. So they have the ability to streak as well as any team.
Last night's injury to Aaron Cook could be a major loss. Cook was really good through 6. He only threw 60 pitches. The Rockies won that game 9-2 last night, but he was hit by a line drive as Troy Tulowitzki walks here with one. And the results, as he did walk off the field, a non-displaced fracture of his right fibula. Aaron Cook could be done for the season.
And the problem with that being that it is his push-off foot. So I would imagine non-displaced or not, Aaron Cook would be done for the season.
So here's Jason at the plate with 1 out. Aside from just the demeanor of the kid, his stuff, does he have number 2 ace stuff?
No, he doesn't. In stuff-wise, no. You're not going to look at this kid and go, he's a number 1 or a number 2. He doesn't have that kind of stuff. What he does have, number 1, you see the swings that hitters take on him? They don't take great swings because they're not picking the ball up. You see he throws a little bit across his body, meaning that his landing foot lands kind of going in the direction of the left-handed hitter, so he's hiding the ball well. So a 90-mile-an-hour fastball, because they're not picking it up till late, appears to be a 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
Using deception.
Exactly.
That's Giambi in the hole 1 and 2. Just does get a piece of it.
And you can tell they're not picking it up because these balls, this pitch right here is right down the middle. You can see how late Giambi is on that pitch.
2 low at first, 1 away. Fouled off again. We saw the impact Jason Giambi has when the Rockies made it to the postseason. Just having him on the bench forces the opposition to use their bullpen differently.
Exactly.
You know that is a bullet Jim Tracy's going to use at some point in a close game.
Well, and when you look at the playoff teams that are going to be in contention, if the Colorado Rockies get into the postseason, bullpens that are going to be facing them are going to have their left-handers loaded up and ready, because at some point Giambi will pinch hit with a game on the line.
Me on the mound, Ramon Hernandez comes out to talk things over with Travis Wood. Wood so far has been terrific. Here he is in the bottom of the 4th. He just walked Troy Tulowitzki.
And with a 5-0 lead in Colorado, the one thing you want to avoid is free passes. You do not want to walk people, because a walk, a bloop, a blast, now they're right back in the ball game.
88 miles an hour low. Count even now, 2 and 2. 3 straight right-handed bats up next. If Wood can't get Giambi, it'll be more Spielborg, Zionetta. Good at bat here from Giambi.
Well, as we talked about, very seldom will you see Giambi go outside the strike zone. He knows the strike zone very well, and he has the ability to spoil good pitches.
Average sitting at 257 on the year for Jason Giambi. Count's full now.
A little cutter he tried to get there on the outside corner.
Giambi sends this one to center. Drew Stubbs back, and it's not coming back. A 2-run shot, and Mitch, we got a ball game. Rockies down 3.
And this is what we spoke of earlier. There is no lead in Colorado that is completely safe. And you see there, you walk Tulowitzki and you get Giambi up there. Giambi spoils a couple of very good pitches and gets a ball. Not a bad pitch, but you see him stay down on it with his head. And he is strong.
I mean, he hit a home run, hunched over.
Yeah, he's a strong human.
Just like that, thanks to that guy. The Reds lead, cut to 3. Here's Melvin Mora. He hit it hard his first time up. Sends it the other way, foul.
And you see there what I'm talking about. That's a 92-mile-an-hour fastball. But because of the deception, Mora is extremely late on it, and it makes it essentially a 95, 96-mile-an-hour fastball because of the fact they can't pick it up.
check down to the first base umpire, Chad Fairchild. He says he did not break the plane to the plate, so count is still 1-2.
I'll tell you what, you look at these guys with the Rockies, I'm not sure you want to get in an arm wrestling contest with these guys.
Yeah, they use their weight training facility well. Popped up. This is going to be a tough play. Joey Votto makes it. Votto choosing not to wear sunglasses. So now 2 away here in the bottom of the 4th. Spilborg singled his first time up. He was stranded. It's always interesting to see, Mitch, how a young pitcher reacts to something like that. 2-run home run, and he immediately attacked Melvin Moore. Got ahead in the count and induced a pop-up.
And again, I hate to beat a dead horse, but the kid, so much of pitching is perception and what the hitters perceive when they look out to the mound. This kid gets a ball and comes at you. He's not hemming and hawing and wondering what he should do next. He has a plan of attack. If a hitter doesn't see a weakness, there's nothing they can go after. And Spilborgs is a guy that looks to drive the ball to right field and right center. That's why you see Wood trying to pound him in.
Wood approaching 70 pitches. And we're in the bottom of the 4th. 2-1's in there for a strike. Well, the Reds would hate to see this game get away. Up 5-0. Look at that, 75 pitches now, actually, for Travis Wood.
And the reason being, there's so many foul balls because of the deception. And that's just a paint job right there.
Another strikeout, the 4th of the afternoon for Travis Wood, but not before Jason Giambi brings the Rockies back in this game. It's now 5-2 Reds. In the second inning, Drew Stubbs stepped up to the plate, sent this one to left. Carlos Gonzalez came so close to making an amazing catch. Instead, a 2-run home run for Stubbs. We're back to live action here from Coors Field. Greg Hamsinger, Mitch Williams alongside. Hope you're enjoying matinee baseball on MLB Network. We're in the top of the 5th, 5-2 the score. Jason Giambi just hit a 2-run home run, trying to bring the Rockies back. So it's a 3-run game now. Stubbs, in his first full year of duty, now 16 home runs and 63 RBIs.
In his last at bat, Hamill threw him a get-me-over slider first pitch and then backed it up to another one that he left in the middle of the plate. Stubbs hit a home run. He started him again here with a get-me-over slider for strike 1, but he didn't go back to it. He came back with a 2-seam fastball.
And the strikeout.
There he gets him with basic. That he hung that so bad he couldn't hit it. And every now and then you'll throw a slider as a pitcher that you'll go, please don't hit it. And this is one of those.
The 5th strikeout for Jason Hamill. So here's Brandon Phillips, 1 for 2 on the afternoon. Strike 1. He looked a bit defeated after that swing.
Well, that right there, you kind of want. I mean, that for me is a hitter that's guessing fastball, and I'm swinging no matter what.
Phillips sends it to center, and Dexter Fowler has his second out. Catch all the action of the 2010 Major League Baseball postseason on Fox and TBS. The excitement begins October 6th with the Division Series on TBS. Postseason is going to be fun.
So many of these races are going to come down to the last week of the season.
Will the Reds be there in postseason play? Here's Joey Votto. Up 6 games in the NL Central. About 3 weeks to go.
I honestly, something tragic is going to happen to the Reds because St. Louis is just playing poor baseball right now.
And it's hard to understand why. It's not like they're dealing with major injuries. Yeah, they lost David Freese, their third baseman. Brad Penny gone for the year. Kyle Loesch has been on and off the DL, but compared to other teams, that's not that bad. And the Cardinals haven't had anything working lately.
You give me Wainwright, Carpenter, and Garcia, and I'll take my chances. I really will. And they have not been able to win on the nights those guys are throwing.
Wainwright's lost his last 4 starts.
And anyone that would think that Wainwright could have a 4-game losing streak, there's just no way. He's got way too good stuff. But they're not scoring for him.
The 2-1 to Joey Votto. Grounds to Jason Giambi. Giambi with the backhand steps on the bag, and Jason Hamill has really taken control of this game for the Rockies. Going to the home half of the 5th. The Reds up by 3. Chris Iannetta, the catcher, leading things off for the Rocks. First pitch misses. Iannetta struck out swinging his first time up.
And the thing you got to look at now, if you're the Colorado Rockies, if Iannetta gets on base, do they pinch hit for Hamill this early in the game, being down by 3 runs? I say no. And there's a look at Edison Volquez.
Edison Volquez, recalled from Class A Dayton on Tuesday. He's been dealing with a lower back strain. It's really been ineffective in many ways in the opportunities he's had to pitch. And Mitch, I gotta wonder if they do get to the postseason. Bronson Roy, who lost last night, you have to assume is their Game 1 starter. Then Johnny Cueto. Does Edison Volquez get into the mix?
He's going to have to. They're going to have him. Travis Wood, for me, is going to pitch in postseason. But for the Reds to go deep into postseason, I think absolutely Volquez has got to return to some semblance of the form he displayed last year.
Over Homer Bailey, over Aaron Harang.
Absolutely.
So you put Travis Wood in the 3 spot maybe in the rotation?
I don't know if I'd put him in the 3 spot, but if it got to a situation in a 7-game series where they had to go to a 4-man rotation, Wood would be most definitely be my 4th guy.
Looking for his 6th win of this his rookie year, and he gets another strikeout. That's his 5th strikeout of the afternoon.
And you see, when you talk about deception, when guys cannot pull the trigger on a fastball, and that ball has a lot of the plate. Iannetta can't be upset with the call because that's absolutely a strike. And they don't pinch hit here.
They're going to let Hamill go.
Well, he's settled down. He's throwing the ball really well.
He's only thrown around 75 pitches in this game. So he's at the plate, hit the ball hard his first time up. Grounded to short. Hamill's thrown 74 pitches to be exact. His last 3 innings, very efficient. 11, 11, and 10 pitches thrown.
And that's what I like to see out of a pitcher when they're at the plate. Don't surrender. I mean, you're not up there. Just don't go up there with the feeling I'm a pitcher. I can't help myself. A swinging bat is dangerous.
And he keeps swinging. Count stays at 1-2. The Rockies have won when this guy pitches lately. They're 6-1 in his last 7 starts. Jason Hamill.
There you go. Battle. They're by no means out of this game. So if he continues to go out there and give them quality innings, he's got, well, I'll tell you what, Wood he's very impressive for a young kid.
That's his 3rd straight strikeout. 2 outs now in the inning.
And they're looking. You're not talking about swing and miss. You're talking about frozen.
Here's EY Jr. 1 for 2. What do you think of the Eric Young Jr. playing almost every day now at second, and Clint Barmas with a diminished role?
Well, obviously, Jim Tracy is trying to get speed in this lineup. And the one thing that never goes in a slump is speed. And granted, you cannot steal first base. But if Eric Young Jr. can find a way to get on base, he's a threat.
That's in there for a strike.
I'm confused as to why he would be bailing backwards on a left-handed breaking ball right there.
Barmas this season hitting .235 with 8 home runs and 50 RBIs. But like you said, if you want speed, Barmas isn't your guy. 3 stolen bases. This is your guy. 15 steals, and he hasn't played 50 games this year.
It's just a matter of him finding a way to get on base.
Another strike. Travis Wood working the corners.
He's living on the edges, and he's getting a ton of called strikes, where earlier in the game we had a bunch of foul balls, which led to his elevated pitch count. Now you're getting guys that are frozen on fastballs.
misses upstairs.
And that's the hardest fastball we've seen today out of Wood at 93 miles an hour.
Two outs in the bottom of the fifth. Dexter Fowler, who's 0 for 2, is on deck. Fouled on. On MLB Tonight, we were talking about Travis Wood, the two of us, Mitch, and asked you to compare this young man to Mike Leake, who was the star rookie that didn't pitch in the minor leagues, came right from college and debuted in the rotation. You said they're very similar.
For me, they're kind of mirror image guys, right-handed, left-handed. And you see there he ends up walking Eric Young Jr. on a cutter. But yeah, they're guys that they're not going to blow up a radar gun. They're not going to excite you because they strike a ton of guys out. They both have to locate. And the thing that Travis Wood has done a very good job of and continues to do is locate his fastball, where Leake has gotten in a little bit of trouble doing that. He's struggled lately, found himself in the bullpen. The game's all about adjustments. As soon as hitters see you one time around the league, then you have to adjust. And I think Wood's done a pretty good job of adjusting, where it's taken Leake a little while longer to figure out the adjustments he needs to make.
Let's see if Eric Young will be on the move. Dexter Fowler with a base knock. This is going to have to be cut off. Let's see if Eric Young Jr. scores in the play. They're sending him around third. Throw home. Safe.
Oh, my goodness. That ball got cut off in the gap, and he still scored from first. That's why they want Eric Young Jr. in the lineup.
This is amazing speed. It didn't reach the wall, like you said. It's cut off by Johnny Gomes.
He's not going. He was not running on that pitch. Wow. And actually had to chop his steps at third base to get his steps in a line to touch third base, and still outran the baseball.
Dusty Baker wanted to appeal at third base. They say he didn't touch third base, but
I'm almost positive he touched third because you saw him chop his steps to do it.
Third base umpire Mike Riley says that Eric Young Jr. did in fact touch third. Let's take another look.
Yeah, he was stepped all on top of it.
Yeah. So the Rockies are down by just 2. Mike Riley making that call.
Look, we're in the bottom of the fifth inning. 5-0 in Denver is not a big lead.
You said it.
You saw it last night in the Philadelphia Phillies game. It was 10-0 through 7 innings, and ended up being 10-6. There's certain ballparks you don't take your foot off the gas pedal. I don't care what's going on.
In steps superstar Carlos Gonzalez, shows bunt on the first pitch.
And I'm betting that is exactly what you said. Shows bunt. He's not going to be bunting here.
He could tie it with one swing of the bat. Teeing off there, fouls it back.
And you see even Cargo, he's late on that fastball. And you look at those baseballs, those were rubbed up well because that ball is dark.
A 2-out rally here in the bottom of the fifth. A walk to Eric Young Jr. You put him at first, he's in scoring position. Dexter Fowler proved that with a double that scored EY Jr. And Cargo sends it to center. Stubbs back. And there's enough real estate to make the catch. It looked good off the bat. We've got a ball game. The Rockies were down by 5. They've come back, and it's a 2-run ball game going to the 6th. Welcome back. Scott Rowland swings at the first pitch and grounds to Jason Giambi. 1 up, 1 down for the very efficient Jason Hamill. You know, Mitch, he struggled in the first through 23 pitches, gave up a run. In the second, he gave up 4 runs on 19 pitches. In the third, 11. Fourth, 11. Fifth inning, 10 pitches. And he's got 1 out on 1 pitch here in the 6th.
And as a starting pitcher in this ballpark, you have to understand no matter what happens early, you can never just give up or get down on yourself. Continue to go out and make pitches. And he's done a really good job of bouncing back after that 4-run second.
Keep your team in the game. That's what Jason Hamill has done this afternoon. We're in the top of the 6th. Johnny Gomes at the plate. Terrific pennant chase baseball coming your way today on MLB Network. You're enjoying a first-place team in the Reds trying to end a 4-game losing streak against one of the hottest teams in baseball. The Colorado Rockies have won 6 in a row. Later tonight, it'll be the Cardinals and the Braves as that pitch just misses.
And in this ballpark, you don't just rear back and say, okay, here's a get me over 3-0 fastball.
Walks Gomes on 4 straight. First walk of the game given up by Hamill.
And you saw what happened last half inning, when Wood walked Eric Young Jr. It led to a run. And that's the problem with small ballparks. Walks will haunt you. There's no 2 ways about that. I should know. Pretty good chance if I faced you, I walked you.
Yeah. Ramon Hernandez, the 6-hole hitter for Dusty Baker at the plate. 1 for 2 with a double and an RBI. He has the most hits against Jason Hamill. Hamill has never given up more hits to one player in the big leagues than the guy you're looking at right here.
And you can see Hamill starts him with a breaking ball. Obviously, Hernandez is looking for the first thing straight and hard he can get. And thank goodness he fouled that off, because Gomes had that bag stolen easily.
A huge jump from Johnny Gomes.
And this is where he's got to vary his times to home plate, because that right there is Gomes strictly going off timing. Whether Hamill throws over, steps off, something, just let Gomes know you're aware of it.
Jason Hamill's he's won 2 straight starts coming into today's game. There's Gomes with a big lead.
Hopping around over there. He's doing his best to distract Jason Hamill from the hitter.
Gomes not known for his speed. Only 3 stolen bases.
And what Hamill's looking for here is to get Hernandez to roll over on something right there. Oh, it snuck up the middle.
Yeah, base hit. And look at Gomes take 3rd.
I thought that was a double play ball off the bat.
Was it, by the way, Hamill didn't really make a play at it?
Yeah, I didn't think it was hit hard enough to get up the middle.
He kind of let it sneak through, and it gets to center field. Now 1st and 3rd and 1 out for the Reds.
And if you're Jim Tracy, you got to start looking at matchups now, because you've gotten back in this game. And it wouldn't surprise me for them to get their bullpen going.
Chris Heisey at the plate. 0 for 2. Flew out to right field his last time up. Crowd not happy with that pitch being called a ball.
And it was a little bit off the outside part of the plate.
Home plate umpire Bill Miller this afternoon. Runners in the corners for the Reds. They're up 5-0 after 2 innings. But the Rockies have battled back here. Jason Giambi with a 2-run home run. and Dexter Fowler with an RBI double. So the bullpen's up for the Rockies.
You see the left-hander Reynolds up and warming in the bullpen. If you're Jim Tracy, you just don't want this game to get out of hand. You've fought your way back in it. You want to keep it where it's at.
94 miles an hour from Jason Hammond.
Yeah, you can see he's not lost anything off his fastball.
Chris Heisey wants to come through here, drive and a run, only one out.
And Hamill's looking for a punch out or a ground ball double play. He just does not want the ball in the outfield.
Paul Janisch, who's 2 for 2 in this game, is on deck.
Now, if you go to school on what happened earlier in the at-bat, you go back to a fastball elevated in the middle of the plate and try and strike him out up. You don't mess with down. You don't have to worry about a wild pitch or a pass ball. Throw him a fastball, middle of the plate, up.
Ground ball right back to Hamill. He goes to second for one, and he gets the inning-ending double play.
That's a beautiful job of pitching out of trouble right there.
Rockies starting to build on momentum. We go to the home half of the 6th. It's still new pitcher in the game for Dusty Baker and the Cincinnati Reds, Logan Andrusek. Number 66, you see his numbers on the year.
Pretty good numbers. Tall kid. And he's tasked with one thing. Give Dusty Baker an inning, maybe 2 innings. Keep this game where it is.
So that does it for Travis Wood. He went 5 innings. He battled. And he leaves in line for a win. It would be his 6th victory of his rookie year. Leading off the bottom of the 6th, Troy Tulowitzki. Walked his last time up. Scored on a Jason Giambi 2-run homer. There's a good look at Travis Wood.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that 5 runs is not going to win this game.
Well, Travis went 5 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs. Walked 2, struck out 6.
See that last pitch there at 95 miles an hour with extreme downward movement. That's a heavy sinker.
Ooh, Tulo fooled on that pitch from Andrusek.
95 mile an hour lead pipe sinker followed by a nose to toes hook. Kind of takes all the fun out of hitting.
Andrusek has Tulowitzki in the hole, 1-2. Leading off the bottom of the 6th. That's strike 3. Tulo did not look comfortable in that at bat.
Well, and when you look at it, that's what pitching is trying to get the hitter uncomfortable at the plate. And when you got to guard against a 95-mile-an-hour fastball and an 80-mile-an-hour hook. He got frozen right there. He's obviously looking for a fastball and couldn't pull the trigger.
Here's Giambi, his last time up. Hit a home run in straightaway center field, and it looked like he was hunched over when he did it. Swings at that pitch. Now the count's even 1-1. Here's a look at it against Travis Wood. A 2-run bomb, and it started the comeback for the Rocks. They're down 5-0, now 5-3.
Well, I'll tell you this: the last pitch he just threw, Giambi, was at 92 miles an hour, and we're going to look at that last pitch for strike one. This is 92 miles an hour, but I don't know if that's a split or what. But the movement on it is ridiculous for 92 miles an hour.
The 1-2 from Logan Andrusik. The Reds like this kid. You throw in the pieces they already have. Coco Cordero as their closer. Arthur Rhodes, the all-star veteran left-hander. And then, you know where I'm going.
Aroldis, 150 miles an hour Chapman.
Yeah. I'm telling you, this Reds bullpen is not a walk in the park.
No, you do not want to be a left-hand. And there he is right there. Speak of the devil. Left-handed hitters, he's zero fun for.
2 up and 2 strikeouts for Logan Andrusik. Reminder, visit the official online shop of Major League Baseball today. Browse the largest selection of official gear for the whole family. Get your gear from the official source, the official MLB.com shop, accept no substitutes. Here's Melvin Moore. Will we see Aroldis Chapman in the 7th?
It would not surprise me at all. I don't think Dusty Baker is going to hesitate to bring this kid in games when they're ahead. When you have that kind of stuff, you have the ability to dominate hitters for an inning. If I'm the manager, I'm not going to be scared to bring him in.
Mora fouls this one back. Aroldis Chapman has captivated all of Cincinnati. The best arm in baseball right now. With Steven Strasburg done for the year, it's almost not even close.
That's
Melvin Mora connects. It's back. Oh, and Johnny Gomes makes the catch at the wall.
I've never seen a ball sound that good in Colorado not get out.
Clear Creek.
And
watch out now.
That would be me right there, upside down. Only problem, I couldn't get back up.
Kayak fun in the state of Colorado. Beautiful state. From Coors Field, Jason Hamill working into the 7th.
He's
still trailing by 2.
And he's doing everything he can to keep his team in this game.
"87 pitches through 6 innings for Jason Hamill facing Giannis here. Ground ball in the hole. Look at Troy Tulowitzki. Yes, he did.
And you know, you watch him, and he's a guy that could actually plant and make that throw. He's got such a strong arm.
Troy Tulowitzki. Here's the arm you're talking about.
And you watch him, he makes this jump throw, but he could actually plant his feet and make that throw and still throw him out.
First time Giannis retired this afternoon. Oh, they're going to leave Andrusic in the game.
Well, the way he made Giambi look, he made 2 pretty good hitters in that last inning. He punched him out and made him look not real good at the plate. So I wouldn't be in a real hurry to take him out. I don't know where that pitch was.
Now they got to roll this Chapman up in the bullpen. The only thing I'm thinking here, and correct me if I'm wrong, up next for the Rockies would be Spielborg's Iannetta, the pitcher's spot. Then E.Y. Jr., Fowler, and Carlos Gonzalez.
Well, you're going to be looking at, I would guess, Seth Smith hitting for Spielborg's to lead off this next inning. And they're going to send this kid back out there. And if Seth Smith pinch hits, they may go get Chapman and bring him in.
So you don't think that Chapman is lurking just to face Carlos Gonzalez later on in this game? Andrusic goes down swinging. Another strikeout for Hamill.
I think Dusty let Andrusic hit right there to force Jim Tracy's hand to either pinch hit for Spielborg's and with Seth Smith or not make the move. But I can tell you this, if I'm Jim Tracy, I'm thinking twice about pinch hitting for Spielborg's knowing that Chapman's up out there.
Here's Drew Stubbs. A big 2-run home run in the 2nd inning. And that ball barely got out. Carlos Gonzalez almost made one of the best catches of the season over the left field wall. The ball, I think, touched his glove a little bit.
Oh, I think there was fan interference. There was a lot of things that could have happened on that play, but they didn't throw the red flag and appeal it or anything. So obviously Gonzalez didn't feel he was interfered with.
Here's another look at it. Yeah, that ball did touch his glove.
There was 2 guys with gloves and 1 barehanded guy, and the guy with the glove in the stands caught the ball.
Hamill misses away. Now 1-2 the count. 2 outs here in the 7th.
And Drew Stubbs is a guy that is known to chase breaking balls down and out of the zone. This is where I feel Hamill needs to go to that breaking ball in the dirt and trust that his catcher will keep it in front.
Iannetta wanted it upstairs. Hamill missed his target.
Well, when you're wanting a fastball up, you don't throw a 2-seamer, and that was a 2-seam fastball. You go to a 4-seamer when you want it up. Okay, now they're going with a slider here.
And it's a rocket that Tulo can't handle.
Tulowitzki looks
Stubbs can run, and he's going to get to second base.
Tulowitzki did not look like he reacted to that ball off the bat like he saw it.
Here's another look. Take a look at Troy Tulowitzki standing flat-footed.
Yeah, it didn't look like he saw that ball.
And because it hit his glove, the ball died in center field, allowing the extremely fast Drew Stubbs to take second base. Pitching coach Bob Apodaca.
And again, we talk about outs being made on balls and not strikes. Hamill threw in the slider there, but in the strike zone. If he goes outside the strike zone, Stubbs is still going to go after the pitch.
So with 2 outs in the 7th, an important insurance tally is at second base for the Reds. Brandon Phillips 1 for 3. He singled, stole a base, advanced to third base on a wild pitch, and scored what is now a very important run. It was a swinging bunt, basically, off the bat of Joey Votto. Hamill did not check Brandon Phillips back to third base. And Phillips, on the throw from Hamill to first to get Votto, was able to take home.
Basically walk home. And this is right here. This is what separates okay pitchers from good pitchers. 2 outs and a man in scoring position. Can you leave him standing out there?
Fouled off the right side from Phillips. Stubbs had 2 hits yesterday. Was on base 3 times. 2 for 4 again today. That leadoff spot looks like he wants to stay there.
Well, and with Dusty Baker looking for someone to hit in that leadoff spot, it's a pretty good time for Stubbs to step up and do well.
Phillips has been struggling lately. A reason why he has moved down to the number 2 spot.
You're talking about a guy that started as a cleanup hitter, went to the leadoff spot.
Giving Dusty Baker some flexibility in that lineup. Has an opportunity to put the Reds up by 3, or maybe even 4 with one swing of the bat. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Jason Hamill. Watch out.
Again, I feel like I'm beating a dead horse here, but way too much of the plate in a 1-2 count. Get the ball off the plate. You can't worry about a pitch count here in the 7th inning with 2 outs and a guy in scoring position. Make him chase. He's not comfortable at the plate right now. Make him go outside the strike zone.
Hard hit to Eric Young Jr. And Jason Hamill, well done. Through 2 innings, he gave up 5 runs. Then he shut the door on the Reds. The Rocks are still in the game. Reds up 5-3, bottom of the 7th, Jason Hamill. Great job. I mean, gave up 5 runs to the first 2. We have to assume his day is done. Due up 3rd here in the home half of the 7th.
Well, yeah, you would assume his day is done, and you look at the outing he was able to put together after the 2nd inning. Hurt himself getting ahead of hitters in the first 2 innings and throwing too many strikes, I think, and it costing him. But talk about settling down and doing a great job. I thought he pitched extremely well.
Did Spielborg's commit? Rockies say no. Logan Andrusik back to work. A 1-2-3-6. Let's see what he can do in the 7th.
Well, I can tell you what Jim Tracy's hoping for. He's hoping to get one of these first two guys on to where he can pinch hit Seth Smith in the pitcher's spot. And if that happens, we will see Aroldis Chapman.
Chapman's been warming up in the Reds bullpen. He's got a helmet on.
There's Seth Smith sitting there waiting.
Fouled back from Stillboards. He was 1 for 2 today. Struck out looking his last time up. Aroldis looks ready. What a show he could put on here.
And there we go. That's a big runner right there, because I don't think Tracy would use Seth Smith unless he was the tying run at the plate.
Seth Smith, you're looking at him right there, number 7, hit his 17th home run of the year last night in a Rocky win, 9-2. Here's Chris Iannetta, 0 for 2, 2 punch-outs. Trying to keep that average over 200 is Chris Iannetta. Took a little off, swung through it.
And Iannetta in this situation, all he wants to do is stay out of the double play.
It's hit hard into the corner and fair. Will it score? Spillboards. Gomes gets it back in. They're going to hold him up. And the Rockies.
We have a baseball game, Greggy.
The tying run at second base. Nobody out in the bottom of the 7th. And here comes Dusty Baker.
I wonder if they've announced Seth Smith. This is where the gamesmanship of management comes in. Because I don't know with Aroldis Chapman right now if I would pinch hit Seth Smith. I might bring another left-hander out, and I think that was Herrera on deck.
Yes. Herrera.
Do I want Seth Smith facing Chapman in the 7th, or do I want Seth Smith facing the closer, the right-handed closer, Cordero in the 9th?
Well, coming up is a young man that has really just dominated since he stepped on a big league diamond. Aroldis Chapman next on MLB Network. Bottom of the 7th, the Rockies threatening. 2nd and 3rd, nobody out in a 2-run ball game. And here, Aroldis Chapman. Mitch, tell us about this young man.
He is filthy. Number one, he's been clocked as high as 105 miles an hour on the guns today. But that's not the only pitch he has. He's got a very, very good breaking ball. If I'm Jim Tracy in this situation, I got second, third, nobody out. My hitters are taking until they get a strike, because when you get a young kid, I know, especially for me, I hated to know hitters weren't swinging.
Jonathan Herrera, the pinch hitter, at the plate. Tying run at second. First pitch, 100 miles an hour, and it's a ball.
I'd keep taking. I'm not swinging. Make these hitters get into his head a little bit. Take till you get a strike.
Ball two. Aroldis Chapman.
And the other day he came in and gave up inherited runners against the Rockies.
Spielberg's walk to lead off this inning. Then Chris Iannetta doubled. This is the pitcher Jason Hamill's spot, and that's strike one. Took a little off. Man.
Yeah, 97. He's guiding the ball a little bit.
What a weapon for Walt Jocketty and Dusty Baker. If this team makes it to the postseason, you're going to hear a lot of Aroldis Chapman references. Ground ball the other way. Votto comes home with it. Safe. Ramon Hernandez thinks he got him out.
I disagree with Ramon. I thought that was, if in that situation, if I'm Votto, you got to take the out. I know you only got a 2-run lead, but that's a tough play to make at the plate. Now they got first and third, nobody out.
He threw it, standing flat-footed. Oh man, he got him.
He was out.
That Bill Miller.
Wow.
Bill Miller, the home plate umpire, misses this call.
Well, maybe not. It looked like he tagged him. No, he's safe.
Really?
Yeah. I think his foot's there before he tags him on the thigh.
It's a close play. Dusty Baker doesn't agree with it.
I don't want to be making that call. That's why umpires, they get the raw end.
Take another look.
Watch his foot. Oh, you watch his foot. Tag right there. I think look.
The fact that we're disagreeing here shows
I don't want to
that,
be the umpire.
Yeah, it's a bang-bang play. Bill Miller, the home plate umpire, doesn't have the advantage of what we just saw in replay.
And even if he did, I'm not sure he could make it. I mean, we looked at it from every angle and can't be positive on it. So,
RBI for Herrera. Chapman trying to get the first out of the bottom of the seventh. Here's another look at what Bill Miller, the home plate umpire, saw in regular speed. You tell us how difficult this is. We'll show it to you in moments of replay.
Yeah, we're fixing to get a chance to see it at full speed. And at full speed, I thought I agreed with the umpire. He looked safe to me at full speed, but then you watch it on replay, it's so close.
0-2 pitch. Wow. Here's another look.
See, I'm calling him at full speed. I'm calling him safe too.
But what about the angle of which he saw that play? The play from where he was standing. Could he see if the foot touched home plate before that tag?
I have no idea, to be honest, Greg. You look at it, the umpires set themselves in a position they think it's going to give them the best angle.
Counts now 2-2. Chapman to Eric Young Jr. Here's another look. Camera from the ground level.
So you see how late it is getting there, the tag getting there.
Yeah. That replay there makes you think that the overhead, maybe his glove didn't touch that leg.
Right, until after the foot had crossed the plate.
Yeah. 2-2 pitch of a one-run game. Tying run 90 feet away for the Rockies. Foul back.
And right here, if you're EY Jr., you're looking contact. They don't need a 3-run homer. They need the ball put in play. Touch your swing down. Go to the emergency hack.
Massett is warming up for the Reds. Chapman looking for a big strikeout, facing Eric Young Jr. here in the bottom of the 7th. 102 miles an hour, misses away.
That's gas right there. I mean, that is flaming. If he throws that ball in the middle of the plate, there's no way the hitter can lay off. No way they can lay off.
The Reds trying to end a 4-game losing streak. 6 games up on the St. Louis Cardinals in the NL Central. Up a run here. Full count, nobody out. In the bottom of the 7th. Strike 3.
I'm sorry, that takes all the fun out of hitting. You just looked at a 102-mile-an-hour fastball up and away, and we're going to drop a little dewdrop in on you to freeze you. I'll tell you what, for a young kid to have the confidence to go to a breaking ball in a 3-2 count right there, pretty impressive.
Dexter Fowler at the plate. Drove in a run with an RBI double. Eric Young Jr. scored from first in a play I don't know if 99% of other big leaguers could score on. That was in the 5th. Up there hacking, fouls the first pitch away. Nice play from the fan.
Little tardy. Now, see, in this situation here, I'm looking at my chances, if I'm Dexter Fowler, of really catching up to this guy. And I'm thinking about pushing a bunt, dragging a bunt, doing something other than swinging.
The 0-1 to Fowler. Swing and a miss.
And now it's too late. He's in a point in the at-bat that he's overmatched.
In case you're wondering, Fowler, who can fly, can't hit into double plays. In the first inning, after E.Y. Jr. led it off with a single, hit into a 5-4-3 double play.
Now they're at a point where they actually have to hope Chapman bounces a breaking ball and gets away from the catcher.
The 0-2 to Dexter Fowler in the dirt. Nice play from Ramon Hernandez, but heads up base running as Herrera takes second.
Great job by Hernandez there, keeping that ball in front.
There goes the double play. Dexter Fowler hitting .348 this year with runners in scoring position. Chris Iannetto is at third base, doubled in this inning. He's the tying run.
And we saw the other day that not only can he bounce a breaking ball, when you're throwing stuff 105 miles an hour, a fastball up can get by a catcher.
This guy could throw 105, dropping an 85-mile-an-hour off-speed pitch. And would you look forward to seeing Carlos Gonzalez hit against Aroldis Chapman?
Well, yeah, that's
about as good as it gets.
Yes, absolutely. You're going to find out what the most electric arm in baseball can do against the most electric bat in baseball.
Fowler wants to come through here for the Rockies.
Needs to take the donut off.
102 miles an hour. How do you touch that?
That is, it's called a defensive swing. And that's why I said earlier, I mean, you've got speed. He could push a bunt. Anything to get that run home. And if I'm him up there now, I'm sitting breaking ball.
Pivotal moment of the game here. The 2-2 pitch. Counts full. The last thing Aroldis Chapman wants to do is load the bases for that guy. And if he does, Coors Field's going to get really loud.
Well, I can tell you this. If you ask Cargo two of his favorite things to do one of them ain't going to be face Chapman.
The 3-2 pitch in the bottom of the 7th. And he walked him.
That right there, that's case in point. He couldn't even swing at that ball. It froze him so bad on the inner third of the plate that he couldn't have swung at it no matter what, which did him a favor.
Here we go, Mitch.
This is what September baseball's all about.
2 teams in a pennant chase. The Reds, they've lost 4 straight, 6 ahead of the St. Louis Cardinals in the NL Central. They're worrying about magic numbers all of a sudden. And Carlos Gonzalez and the Colorado Rockies, looking for their 6th comeback win from down 3 runs or more this season. They've made 25 comebacks this year. 5-4 the score. Reds were leading 5-0. Jason Giambi hit a 2-run home run. Dexter Fowler then an RBI double. And in this inning, Spielberg's walks, Iannetta doubles, Herrera fielder's choice RBI. Dexter Fowler walks. With 1 out, Carlos Gonzalez.
Well, regardless, this will be Chapman's last hitter. Either he doubles him off, strikes him out, whatever, but Massett will face Tulowitzki. I don't see Dusty leaving Chapman in there to face Tulowitzki in a 2-out situation.
Time is called on the field.
We got a pinch runner here?
Yeah, we're going to get a pinch runner. Peyton's going to come in and pitch run for Iannetta.
That's because if they get a sacrifice fly opportunity here, they want to be able to tie this game up and not have it cost them because of lack of speed at third base.
The Rockies are 4.5 back in the NL West, 4.5 back in the wild card. It's Carlos Gonzalez with the bases loaded facing Aroldis Chapman.
Starts him off with a breaking ball at 86 miles an hour. And this is where you get concerned if you're a manager. If you're Dusty Baker, you got a young kid on the mound. You know he wants to be perfect, and you have to worry yourself about a wild pitch.
The 0-1 to Gonzalez.
Wow, is he tardy.
101 miles an hour.
He hits this ball out of the glove.
Carlos is 0 for 3. Flew out to center field his last 2 times up.
And trust me, he would love to fly out to center field right here in this at bat.
In the hole, 0-2. 1 away, bases loaded. Ground ball is short. Could be a 6-4-3. And it is.
Wow.
Aroldis Chapman wins the battle of the super talents. Bases loaded and 1 out, and Aroldis gets out of it. After us, MLB Tonight brings you all of baseball all night long, leading up to live baseball, the Cardinals and the Braves. What happened with the Chicago White Sox? Did they lose again? The White Sox in the thick of a race in the AL Central, trying to chase the really good Minnesota Twins. Here from Coors Field, matinee baseball, Carlos Gonzalez, 0 for 4, hit into an inning-ending, bases-loaded double play. Olivo takes over behind the plate. The other new pitcher is Matt Reynolds, making his 10th appearance. Reynolds, the left-hander.
He's making his 10th appearance and he's 10-7.
I know.
Something there's messed up.
Yeah. I'm looking at the MLB.com stats. As Joey Votto asks for a new bat.
Yeah, that one doesn't have a homer in it. I'd like to get my homer bet, please.
Reynolds misses with a 90-mile-an-hour fastball to Joey Votto. So all the talk, Mitch, at the beginning of this game, Joey Votto, Carlos Gonzalez, Triple Crown heroes, right?
Well, neither one of them have looked especially sharp today. Just goes to show you, no matter how good you are, there's days when you can look human.
Mm-hmm.
People at home have to remember that the greatest in the world at this game fails 7 out of every 10 times as a hitter.
Joey Votto does have an RBI to his name. Carlos Gonzalez does not.
On a ball that traveled about 9.5 feet.
It was heads-up base running from Brandon Phillips. He scored the first run of this ball game. As this one's popped up to left. Votto to Cargo. Ball keeps carrying.
Gee, crisp.
That almost carried out of here.
He is a strong, strong man.
So 1 away here in the top of the 8th. As we watch the left-hander Matt Reynolds work, how about a final thought on the work from Aroldis Chapman?
You know, he had every opportunity in that inning to let the situation affect him. And I was concerned with him being a young guy and trying to be perfect that he was going to bounce a breaking ball.
Well, Reynolds, his day is done. Bringing the right-hander Belial. We'll see what he can do next. Matt Belial is in the ball game. Misses with his first pitch to Scott Rowland. Rowland hitless this afternoon. Hitting cleanup for the Reds here in the top of the 8th. Cincinnati up by a run, 5-4.
And you see Jim Tracy managing this game like a playoff game.
Oh, yeah.
He got Brought Reynolds in for the left-handed hitter. He did his job. Now he's turned it over to Belisle to get Scott Rowland and Johnny Gomes coming up.
Belisle's been really good this year, Mitch. 6-5 with a 2.73 ERA. In 82 and a third innings, 82 punch-outs and 16 walks.
And see, when I look at him, he's what I consider a late 80s, early 90s kind of reliever. 82 innings out of the bullpen is a lot of innings anymore. You just don't see it.
Falls behind 3-1, and Scott Rowland's going to get on base.
And that's a case right there of you put a veteran hitter in a cripple count, they're going to beat you. They're going to get hits.
So Belisle falls behind to Scott Rowland on a 3-1 pitch, a single to left. Here's Johnny Gomes, 1 for 2. He also walked. Johnny made a great play in left field, cutting off a ball destined for the wall in the gap off the bat of Dexter Fowler. Got the ball in a hurry, and Eric Young Jr. still scored from first.
Only going to have E.Y. Jr. outrun the ball.
E.Y. Jr. showing us why he's playing every day instead of Clint Barnes. That's a strike.
Johnny, he's a little fidgety at the plate, isn't he?
Mm-hmm. Dusty Baker was actually asked about why Johnny's been swinging a hot bat so far in September, and he said he's actually slowed everything down. This one right back up the middle. There's Tulo making the catch and a double play. Scott Rowland caught off base.
Scott Rowland going
to the bottom of the 8th. Still a 1-run game. Copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent. New pitcher on the hill for Dusty Baker, and it's Massett, 3-3 on the year, and Nick Massett has bounced around. In 06, started with the Rangers, then to the White Sox, was with the Reds in 08.
Very good arm.
And he's stuck with this club. Last year, he appeared in 74 ball games and had a great ERA at 2.37. This year, ERA a little higher, but he got off to a really bad start. Mitch, ERA was over 11 after the month of April. So he's settled down. Now his ERA barely over 3. Facing Troy Tulowitzki to lead things off in the bottom of the 8th.
You know, we're going to look at that play to end the last inning, and you look at a veteran player like Scott Rowland. This ball's in front of him. and I could not figure out how is he caught so far off. I mean, you look at that, the play's right in front of him. It's not like Scott Rowland's stealing second. The ball's on the line. You're taught to freeze on a line drive. He simply got caught.
They got Matt Belisle out of the inning, and they kept it a one-run game. 5-4 the score. The Reds had a 5-0 lead after 2 innings, and the Rockies have chipped away.
The funny part about that play was him ducking down, because I'm pretty sure I don't want to get hit in the gourd by Tulowitzki's fastball either.
By all means, Tulo, make your throw to first. Troy's had a rough night. Rough day, I should say. He had walked. But after what he did last night, with 2 home runs and a 9-2 victory for the Rockies, he's cooled off a hair.
Well, what Massett wants to avoid here is running this count to 3-1, where he puts himself in a cripple count. And he got that ball up and got away with it.
Did he, though?
No, he didn't get away with it.
It's gone. We are tied in the 8th. That ball kept carrying and carrying for Troy Tulowitzki.
I thought he popped that ball up.
His 18th of the year makes it 5-5.
And you see a little justice and a little injustice there. Travis Wood pitched well enough to win. Hamill, I thought, threw the ball well enough to not lose. No decisions, both of them.
That's not a bad pitch. Look how high that thing is.
I mean, you look at that ball off the bat from that angle, that's a pop-up. Welcome to Colorado, everybody.
Here's Jason Giambi. Brand new ball game, folks.
He's already got 1 home run today.
He kick-started the Rocky comeback. Troy Tulowitzki, 2 home runs last night. Another home run in this game. And Carlos Gonzalez, did you see that?
Oh, yeah.
Imitating the swing that he put on that baseball.
And this is where Jason Giambi is so disciplined, because most hitters are going to want to go up there and follow that up with a home run. They all want to read their name in the headline the next day, but Giambi's going to make him throw strikes.
Swing and a miss. Counts even at 2-2. The Rockies have won 6 in a row, and you see why. They do not let up. And let's give Jason Hamill, the starting pitcher for the Rockies, a lot of credit. Stayed in the game, pitched 7 innings after giving up 5 runs through 2.
It's what we talked about early in the game. You play in ballparks like this, if you're a starting pitcher, you have to understand you can give up 4 or 5 in the first couple innings and still have to go out there and perform.
Giambi walks.
And at some point, we're going to see Todd help.
There's going to be a meeting on the mound. Pitching coach Brian Price.
And there's going to be a pinch runner, I would bet, for Giambi, because you're looking at the 8th inning. There we go.
Nelson comes in the game. Giambi out. I'd say he earned his paycheck. 2-run home run. Chris Nelson, the pinch runner. No one up in the bullpen for the Reds.
No, I think it's on Massett right now. He's either going to get it done or not get it done. Dusty Baker knows he's got a 6-game lead in that division, and I don't think he's going to blow his bullpen up.
It's a good point. Different mindset when you're atop the standings compared to a team like the Rockies
that are chasing.
Yeah. Here's Melvin Mora, 1 for 3.
And normally you would say Melvin Mora is not a guy that's going to bunt and be sacrificing. But in this situation, I'm playing for the win. I'm at home. I'm going to try and sacrifice him to second base. And he is. He's squared around a bunt. That's a big, big thing. And this is something, the unselfishness of this, and I want to see how hard Mora works to get this bunt down. Because if he goes up there and he makes a legitimate effort to get this bunt down, it shows you they're really playing as a team in Colorado.
Mora at the plate. Nelson at first. No show of bunt. Sends to Votto, who flips the ball away. Massett can't get it. Nelson to third, and the go-ahead run is 90 feet away for the Rockies.
And you talk about being a team player. You watch what Melvin Mora did right here with the bat in his hand. He did a great job of looking to hit behind the right. That's a hit and run. That right there is a hit and run. Perfectly executed by Melvin Mora. They took the bunt off and put the hit and run on. And I'm a huge fan of pressuring the defense.
Ryan Spilborgh's due up next. And he will hit against the right-hander, Nick Massett.
Now, see, this surprises me. I thought we'd see Seth Smith here in this situation. Or Helton. Because you know you're going to see Helton at first base in the bottom half of this inning. For defensive reasons. And because Giambi's out of the game.
Spilborgh's doubled his last time up. Has a chance to give the Rockies the lead. Takes a strike. Boy, just the names you rattled off there, Mitch. Seth Smith, Todd Helton. Not getting a start in this game shows the depth. Clint Barmas is still on that bench as well.
You know, we talked about this when we did 30 and 30s back in the spring. The bench that the Colorado Rockies have is so much deeper than so many teams in baseball. They got guys like Spilborghs and Seth Smith that could be everyday players on a lot of teams in the big leagues, and they're role players on this team.
Well, think about it. When Ian Stewart's healthy, Melvin Mora is a role player on this team. Before EY Jr. was brought back from the minors, Clint Barmas was playing every day. Now Barmas is a role player, and there are a ton of teams that would love to have a guy like that starting at second base.
Now,
inside.
Spilborghs has got to swallow his pride, understand the ball in play is what he's after here. He can literally hit into a double play and drive in the winning run here. Put the ball in play. Cut your swing down. Do whatever you got to do. Get the ball in play.
The 1-2 pitch. Did he go?
No.
They say no.
Houston Street's got to be up in the Colorado bullpen. Yeah, I didn't think he went. Just in live action, he did a good job of checking his swing there.
Spilborgh's 1 for 2. He walked his last time up. Iannetta with the double in that rally for the Rockies in the 7th. And he strikes out swinging. Big strikeout for Nick Massett.
That's the one thing. That's why I'm confused as to why Jim Tracy did not pinch hit with a left-hander in that situation.
Spilborgh's unable to drive in his 30th run of the year.
And Houston Street is up and warming in the Colorado bullpen.
Here's Olivo. He took over behind the plate after Chris Iannetta doubled and was pinch ran for.
I'm telling you, I'm really confused as to what Tracy was doing in that situation. You know they got two left-handed hitters in Helton and Seth Smith. Why would you not use them there?
There's Todd Helton. Runners on first and third. Nelson with great speed, 90 feet away. 1 out, bottom of the 8th. We're tied at 5 after Troy Tulowitzki led this inning off with an opposite field home run, his 18th of the year. Olivo fouls it off. It's hard to understand why Olivo isn't playing every day, hitting .281 with 13 home runs and 52 RBIs.
I know in Colorado they've wanted Iannetta to be the everyday catcher. He has not panned out hitting-wise. And there you see Seth Smith, but you got two left-handers to get that ball into the outfield there. Spilborghs doesn't face a lot of right-handed pitchers.
They're stealing home. Wow. Unbelievable. Nelson takes home himself. Dusty Baker can't believe it. And the Rockies take a 6-5 lead in the most improbable of ways.
Wow, I got to see this on replay. What was Massett doing?
Nelson's going. He was stealing home, man.
It's right in front of Massett. What is he doing? He stepped up, get the guy going from first to second.
And then Olivo comes through, sends it to left. Johnny Gomes with a diving catch. An emotional roller coaster here in Colorado.
Wow, you're talking about just a seizure on Massett's part there, because here's the catch that was made on Olivo. I thought this ball bounced.
Oh, no.
It didn't. What a play by Johnny Gomes right there.
Wow. The Rockies have a 6-5 lead in the bottom of the 8th.
I'm confused. I mean, Massett's literally looking at the guy stealing home and turned around to throw to second.
Here is Seth Smith hitting in the pitcher's spot. Chris Nelson. Chris Nelson's going.
Look at Massett. I mean, the play's right in front of him. And he stepped off to throw to second.
I think his teammates started screaming because Nelson broke for home. Massett didn't know who was breaking.
I'm telling you, I was a left-handed reliever, so I wouldn't have seen him. But still, my first instinct, I hear him yelling, I'm stepping off and looking at the guy at third.
Chris Nelson, the rookie, listen to this. That was his first career stolen base.
Pretty good one. Now you watch here, he never even looked at third.
He looked to second, and there was no one at second.
You can't get a double play there. You have not thrown a pitch. The guy that's going to do you harm is standing on third.
Seth Smith swings away for strike 2. There is Chris Nelson.
I think I think you're right, Greg. I think they started yelling, step off, step off, step off. And he stepped off and never even glanced at the guy at third.
He was just
because normally that's a guy. Yeah, that's a guy that's stealing second base when they're yelling step off.
That's exactly. He looked at second to throw. I see what you're saying.
They're yelling step off, and he stepped off and looked to second and didn't even think about the guy stealing that's right in front of him. Wow, that's a pretty good play by Nelson.
How about the call from Jim Tracy? This one's rolled over. Votto with the toss to first, and we are going to go to the 9th inning. And Chris Nelson's first career stolen base is a swipe of home. It's the difference. Rockies with a 1-run lead. We are back for the top of the ninth. Rockies with a 1-run lead. Clint Barnes takes over at second base for EY Jr. Todd Helton, the new first baseman, as Jason Giambi was pinch ran for by Chris Nelson, who eventually stole home. The difference in this game, that is why Houston Street is on, trying to get the save.
You know, it's great baseball. This is what September pennant race baseball is about. They're down 5-0 after 2 innings. Their starting pitcher goes out there, battles through 7 innings. Their offense battles and scratches and claws, and it comes down to a stolen home plate in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Oh, you couldn't script this.
And now you got Houston Street on to try and save this game. They've got defensive replacements in. Barmes at second. Helton, one of the best first basemen of all time, he comes in.
Street starts Ramon Hernandez off of the ball. Houston Street looking for his 17th save. This is 21st save opportunity. Hernandez is 2 for 3 this afternoon. Ground ball, base hit.
Nothing is over.
And you, the Wild Thing, former closer, you know that better than anybody.
And in a 1-run game, the thing you want the most is the first out. Don't even let them think they have a chance to get to you.
Valleca will come out in a pinch run for Ramon Hernandez. Let's see if Valleca can come close to what Chris Nelson did as a pinch runner for the Colorado Rockies. Talk about making an impact. There he is, the rookie. He's a shortstop, Chris Nelson, who stole home in the bottom of the 8th to give the Rockies a 1-run lead.
You know, that being his first stolen base of his career, what a memory that'll make for him. You'd like to see it stand up so it means something for him.
Valleca at first after Hernandez singles his 3rd hit of the game. And here's Chris Heisey.
You know, they're in the bottom 3rd of the batting order for the Reds. So, I mean, it all stacked up for Houston Street in this inning. He's got to make it stand up.
Jason Hamill taken off the hook. Went 7 innings, gave up 5 earned runs.
And honestly deserved to be taken off the hook through that well after the 2nd inning.
This game looked like it was all Reds. Brandon Phillips scored on a ground out. Joey Votto, it was Votto's 100th RBI. Drew Stubbs hit a 2-run homer. 5-0 lead, but the Rockies have come back. Street ahead in the count 0-2.
And that right there is a perfect example of a backup slider. The hitter sees rotation, and the ball doesn't break. It spins like a slider and does not break. Stayed in on the inner 3rd of the plate.
Paul Janisch, who's 2 for 3, is on deck.
Now this is where Street will expand the strike zone and try and get him to chase outside. That's dirty right there.
You called it. 1 out in the 9th.
Houston Street has made a living being a closer, not because he has overpowering stuff. He just has a knowledge of knowing how to take advantage of hitters' egos and exploiting the fact that they will go outside the zone when they're behind in the count.
Last year, Houston Street had 35 saves, only 2 blown saves.
Started this year on the DL.
Janisch fouls this one off.
And then in the middle of the year was hit during batting practice.
Yes.
And missed some time. So he's had a rough year.
Still only 27 years old. Houston Street.
It's hard to believe. And it seems like he's been around forever.
Former Oakland A, who was nothing but terrific for them.
And he's a guy that can get that ground ball double play.
.92 miles an hour outside. 1-1 the count. Troy Tulowitzki led off the bottom of the 8th with an opposite field home run off Nick Massett. And it was
a pop-up.
A pop-up that just kept carrying. Then later, Chris Nelson stole home. That is how the Rockies came back in the 8th. There were some great moments in this game. As you take a good look at Chris Nelson. How about the bases loaded, 1-out double play? Aroldis Chapman facing Carlos Gonzalez.
And that's as good as it gets. When we were sitting around talking about this game today, we were speaking of it yesterday, and you actually brought up Carlos Gonzalez versus Chapman, bases loaded in the 7th inning. What's going to happen? I mean, we've actually talked about that, and you see what happened today. Chapman got the best of it today.
The two Triple Crown competitors, Carlos Gonzalez and Joey Votto, not really figuring into this game all that much.
But now they're locked up at 100 RBIs apiece. And this right here is where Houston Street again. He's got the hitter in the hole. He's going to try and go to the outer third of the plate to either get him to pull off and roll over on the ball or swing and miss. He's not going to make a mistake on the inner third of the plate.
Olivo behind the plate.
Slider.
1 out in the 9th. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Street. If the Rockies are to come back, they begin the day 4.5 behind the Padres in the NL West. 4.5 behind the Braves in the NL wildcard race. Houston Street being effective is essential. When he was gone, they didn't know who was their closer.
Right. Franklin Morales has been inconsistent and injured this year. And this is the thing. When you look at the Giants and you look at the Padres, the team that everyone has been concerned with all year long, I picked the Colorado Rockies coming out of spring training to win this division. I didn't expect them to get as far back in the division as they did. They played poorly, but this is what they're capable of. Streaks.
Giannis hits it hard with foul. What a ball game.
And trust me, the Padres are at home watching this.
Oh, yeah.
Knowing that these guys are coming. And it starts to pressure them. They're coming off a 10-game losing streak that they've won 2 in a row now.
Rockies looking for their 7th straight win. Swing and a miss. 2 straight strikeouts for Houston Street. And Coors Field about to stand up and get loud.
They got the brooms out looking to sweep this series.
The Reds 1 out away from dropping their 10th straight game at Coors Field.
And it's funny, you get certain teams that cannot win. How many games in a row did Pittsburgh lose in Milwaukee? I mean, it was something ridiculous where they just cannot win in certain stadiums.
Here's Juan Francisco, one of the top prospects in this Reds organization. He's a third baseman, and he has plenty of pop. Wow. And he throws his bat into the stands. In 33 at-bats this year, luckily everyone's okay. It's always scary when that happens. He has 1 big league home run, 2 career home runs. Only 23 years old. Juan Francisco.
I'll tell you what, he was behind that fastball. And you see Houston Street out there kind of stretching.
Let me ask you this, Mitch. If the Reds lose, as you take another look at Francisco losing the bat, and the Cardinals win tonight on MLB Network against the Braves and they're 5 back, do we have a race once again?
You know, I'd like to say, I think the Cardinals are in it till the end because of their pitching. Until they're mathematically eliminated, I think the Cardinals have a chance. But for the Reds to be losing like they're losing and the Cardinals not gaining any ground, it doesn't look good for them.
Street is 1 strike away from pulling off An improbable comeback.
Young hitter, veteran closer, 0-2 count. You could throw him a rosin bag right here. He is not going to throw this kid a strike.
Chris Valleca is at first, the tying run for the Reds.
The young guy wants to read his name in the headlines tomorrow morning.
Fouls it off.
That had too much of the plate there. Don't make me look stupid in here, Houston. Jimmy Chris. That had way too much of the plate. Elevate it. Do something.
Top of the 9, 2 outs.
The youngster wants to swing. Throw him a ball.
What kind of power does Juan Francisco have? In 77 games at AAA, he had 18 home runs.
Well, you can see he's a kid that's got a really nice swing.
The crowd wanted that call. Here come the Rockies. The 2-2 pitch. They'll do it again.
I think you look at this, the defensive swings, the hardest thing to take an emergency hack on is a fastball. When a hitter's in an emergency hack mode, that's when you go fastballs in and up because it's hard to feel for that ball. You've got to swing at that ball. They're going breaking ball here. Fastball away.
What a ball game.
That's as good as it gets, September baseball. Matinee, 5-0, comeback, there's nothing better. That's thoroughly enjoyable for me.
6-5, the Rockies sweep a 4-game set against the Reds. Chris Nelson, the rookie pinch runner, first career stolen base, steals home. Rockies down 5. And they come back and win 6-5. For Mitch Williams, my name is Greg Hamsinger. What a ball game from Coors Field. Thanks for watching. Cards Braves later tonight. But MLB tonight starts right now on MLB Network.